everyone, this will be DESTASH lot part 2. This will be lot number 3, and it will be shipped in a padded flat rate envelope. As you can see, it's completely packed. I'm weighed it, and I believe it weighs a little over 3 pounds, so you will get a lot of supplies in here for crafting, junk journals, or any type of project that you work on. So let me go ahead and show you what is included. And it looks like there's a little package of ribbon here. Most of this stuff is vintage, but some of it may be a little bit newer. This may or may not be some vintage ribbon. I believe it's probably from the 90s or something like that, but you will get that. Then we have a package of all sorts of envelopes and flashcards. These are sign language flashcards. They are dated 1988, so they are vintage. And I'm thinking that's probably the last of those. I'm not sure, I keep finding things, but here is canasta, whatever that is. I think it's some type of card game or something. I'm not really sure. But there's a pad of score sheets there. And again, this stuff would be great for junk journals. I believe these are the last of the little the cardboard blocks that I have. These, I thought they were dated, but I guess they're not. They are vintage, so you will get several of those. Okay, we have, this is a vintage greeting card. It's blank. Then we have some craft envelopes, just some assorted envelopes here, perfect for tea dyeing, coffee dyeing, staining. Here's some vintage writing paper. Here we have a nice lined envelope. Here is a vintage greeting card. That one is blank as well. And more vintage envelopes. Here's a tag you can alter. And we have a vintage party invite. More vintage envelopes. And that one is lined with some florals. Here we have more learning cards. I believe these are 1970. Yes, 1970. They can be altered. That's what I did with them. Here's more tags that you can alter for your projects. Here we have some vintage writing paper. I don't believe that one's vintage, but here's another one of those invites. And just all sorts of paper goods for junk journals, craft projects, really any type of project that you do. Here's one of those CD envelopes and more envelopes. Here is a tiny little one. And it looks like there were several of these in here, and they have envelopes. You can see it's textured paper, and they are vintage. Here we have more flashcards. Oh, there we go. More flashcards. There's an envelope. Here is a vintage repair tag. It has some nice aging around the edge. There's a vintage security envelope there, and just all sorts of paper goods. As I said, most of them are vintage, but there may be some newer items included. And there's quite a bit in here, so I'm trying to move quickly. And all sorts of envelopes, inserts. They can be used in junk journals. This stuff I've been collecting for a while, and my intentions were to make junk journals, but as I've said over and over again, it never happened. This one's really pretty, and it is vintage. This one's pretty too. Paper, you can see the nice natural aging on that one. These are vintage as well. They don't show as much aging, but they have some really pretty roses at the bottom for a border. Then I have included some book pages. I believe this is from a child's dictionary. Here is a page, several pages actually, from a vintage or antique German book. So those would look very nice in a junk journal. Here we have more of the dictionary pages with really nice images. Here's a piece of that vintage rolled paper. Here is a vintage Hallmark full-size letter paper with some really cute bears. And this is actually kind of a holiday theme, I think. So then I am including let me see here if I can find a date. So 1936. I guess this would be considered antique, but it's some music sheets. I have used some of it. As you can see, I've ripped some of it out, but there's still quite a bit left. So you will get that. Here we have some vintage. I believe this book is from the 1920s or early 1900s. But it has some very nice aging on it. And then we have some vintage, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's like divider pages, but it's kind of thick, so I thought it would work great for scrapbooks or junk journals. Then I'm throwing in this gold tone belt buckle. I thought that would go good on the front of a junk journal. And then I've recently come into a great deal on some lace, so I will throw some of this in just as kind of a little freebie, so you'll get maybe a few yards of each. So that will also be included in the package. And this will be $15 shipped. I will leave all the details down below in the description if you have any questions or if you're interested. My email address will be down below. And thank you so much for watching.